impossible. It's kind of like what we promote too. You're not going to use every knife every day. It's kind of impossible, but it's nice to know you have it. That right there could handle so many objections if you just took that one down and took it serious. So then, this is how you easily sell a 4-inch paring knife and a trimmer. You say the 4-inch knife is for stuff dense, like a potato or a sweet potato. You guys know what the term dense means? It's where there's not a soft inside. Sweet potato, cucumbers on the denser side, and you use a smooth edge, and it just glides right through like butter. But then when you have something soft or mushy, or something that's got a softer squeezy inside, like a tomato, an orange, a grapefruit, you're going to want to use that double D edge. So like I haven't taught you anything except simple concepts. These right here will add a few extra pieces to your order on every single appointment. So the big points, guys, that really help me out is you tell them that the butcher knife is more old school. It's like from the 40s and 50s. It's really outdated. So what a lot of people do is they add the Hardy slicer. It's our new barbecue man knife. And if the woman's there, say, you'll probably use it when you have that big job, but this will be the one that your husband loves. And you sell it like that. You say it's great for cutting through ribs, fine bones, pineapple. And then here's our mom's knife. It's our Rachel Ray Petite Chopper. And that's what I call the Petite Santuca. If you get your hands on one, or maybe make your family or parents get it, and you borrow it for the first couple weeks, and then when you go back to school, give it back to them. It's a good idea. I've had reps do that many times. Or if you know you want to take a little bit of your paychecks the first couple weeks and you buy a knife or two, that Petite Santuca, a barbecue knife, I would say would be your easiest ones to sell, and then the cheese knife. Alright, so you guys kind of with me on the idea of everything? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a like list. We call it wish list, right? No, because we're not what? Alright. So as you make the transition, guys, here's the worst things you could do. Is say, do you want to create a wish list? Because what could they say? No. Or don't ever ask, like, are you interested in buying? Or do you want to buy something? Or, do you want to get that? I just came up with another thought that really helps. The worst thing you could do during an appointment, guys, is tell them the price. Because they're not listening to you anymore. And you've done this before. Some of you still will do it. But that's where I really made a big shift in my average order. Because I was so excited, I would tell them the price right away. Because I think I would sell it right then and there. But it actually ruins your presentation flow. So if you're going through the appointment, the first thing that they'll probably get excited about is the shears or the scoop. Or something like the trimmer or the steak knives. Well, how much are those? You guys ever learned the ooh-ee-ah? Some of you guys know what that is? Learn this from Henry Weinecker. So what you do is you build up the suspense. So you go, well, how much is that? And you go, ooh. Well, how much is that? Like 50, 60 bucks? How much is that? Like $100 for that trimmer? So now what are they thinking? The trimmer's over $100. And you want that. That's called building up the value. You could do that in the shears and everything. And then what you do is you just go, actually, there's a bunch of specials, and I just do this really cool, like list special. So I'll get to all the prices at the end. And now what you do is you eliminate that from your whole appointment. So basically, you can say it a few different ways. This is what I wrote down like 4 or 5 years ago when I gave this talk, and then I'll kind of see if I change anything. But what we're going to do is create a like list. A like list is simply a list of Cutco products that you like to have at some point in time. Not saying you're going to buy them all today, but if Cutco is for free falling from the sky and it landed here next to you, what would be the stuff that you would grab and see yourself liking to have at some point in time or giving it as a gift? And I still use that exact word for word, so I guess it hasn't changed. Yeah, it's pretty much, well, what we're going to do for you is create a like list. A like list is just a list of Cutco pieces that you would like to have at some point or time. Some of you guys are looking at me. I know I'm damn good looking, but you need to write this down. Write it down because this is what's going to create business for you. Because not all of you are doing this. And then what you do is you get them really excited about it. And sometimes people will say, well, I'd like to have everything. Well, you say, well, if you actually would use it and know you're going to get it in the next couple of years. Because trying to close on everything is not going to happen. Because one, they're not set on buying it, they're just saying it to be goofy. We want them to think of themselves buying it and getting it at some point or another. So what's the best thing you can do at this point? Is get a back of an order form, or a legal pad, or a notebook. So what I do at the top of it is I write their name, like list. Then I write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I write down 10 because that's what I always shoot for. Because the more things I shoot for, increases the order. If you know they have a buttload of Cutco and like they have so much, and like you know it's a lot because you're like, dang, I've never even seen that before. I would at least shoot for 5 and just hit on gifts. Because you could do like a pick 3 special or pick 4 special. So what's the first thing you write at the top of the page? Their name and like list. This is more credible. So now what you're doing is you're going through it, you're being assumptive. So Mrs. Customer, if this was a free and it all fell from the sky, what would you like to have? And you literally go through it. And you can mention, hey, we actually do discounts on upgrading. And I don't want to take any thunder away from my talk tonight, so if you want, talk to your managers about getting on that. And if you're not ready for it, that's fine. But let's just get to the concept. So you're going through every piece, and you give it about a 2-second highlight. So would you like to have that at some point? No? And if you know it's an easy one they should have, and they're just saying no because that's what most people say, you just go, you sure? Because that one is like one of our most popular pieces. And re-ask, because most of the time they would go. Then what you could say the third time is go, would you kind of maybe want that one? And throw the maybe at them. And then let's just put that down as a maybe. It's another point. Because now what you did is you handled 3 potential objections. You sure you wouldn't have it like that? Well, it's actually one of our fan favorites and customer favorites. You sure? How about maybe? And I'm not talking about sit there and beat them up over like a turning fork. They're like, I would never use a turning fork. You need to sit there for like 10 minutes. Are you sure you don't want a turning fork? You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like the table knives and they're like, no. Like, really? Because isn't that kind of like, who doesn't want the table knives? So how about those forever boards? Would you like that? How about that forever ice cream scoop? Here's another advanced nugget. Cutco in June, or Christmas in June. And what you do right next to that list is you draw a little Christmas tree. And you say, hey, if Cutco is for free, we can give people gifts. Who actually do you plan on potentially getting gifts for? Not Cutco, but people you actually spend money on. Even if it's just cash, let's just have a little fun, because I might be able to give you a killer deal where you can still give them cash, but kind of throw this in for free even, or like barely nothing. And now what you could do, even if you don't close it then and there, you could follow up with them for Christmas. And then you can also use this to your advantage. Some of you are so new, you're like probably like, oh my God, that's really? But our prices are going up. That's good because it's a pay raise. And if someone's going to spend $51, they're going to spend $54 for a trimmer. They're not going to sit there and go, I can't get it, it's $3 difference. So in September, our prices are going up because every 2 years they go up just with gas and inflation because our machines are run off of oil. This is a selling tip and a point. You tell your customers, hey, I'm not trying to be pushy or mean, but it is best to build a bigger wish list now. Why am I calling it a wish list? It's called what?
Like list.
And our prices are going up, so let's at least get some thoughts on paper because I might be able to give you a killer deal. So now what you do is you're getting a bunch of things on paper. So I always promote the block and all the pieces that would complement what they have. Then what I also promote is the gifts. Hey, do you think so-and-so would like this fisherman knife? How about for next Father's Day, because you can just put it under your bed. It's an easy little kind of line to throw in there. Put it in the closet, store it. We have customers that do that all the time. They buy about $500 to $1,000, they keep it in their closet. All right, and then you just get assumptive. You go, a lot of my customers, they'll eventually want to have a set. So would that make sense for you just to put that on your wish list?
Like
Not? Yeah, there you go. All right, so you guys get the drift. So now I'm going to teach you the close. So here's how you close on it. At this point, if it's a demo, I would say for almost 90% of you, as you're doing the prices, you don't want them looking at you. that rushes you, it's awkward.